makeup to embellish your beautiful traits can seem overwhelming to some women. But here to help is Penny Sadler, a professional makeup artist who knows the tricks of the trade. Welcome, Penny, and our beautiful model, Rachel Shrum. Good to have you here.
Thanks for having me, Ashley.
So you're going to tell us how to get camera ready today, and why is it important for women to be camera ready all the time?
Well, what I think is everybody is out in the public today. There's not as many people hiding in their cubicles or at home. And even if you're not out in the public a lot, most people have a social networking site, or they're on Facebook, they're going to parties, they're being photographed all the time. And so I think everybody really wants to look their best.
And you know how to make them look their best because you've worked with a bunch of celebrities, Brooke Shields, Kelly Clarkson, who else?
Cherie Wilson, what was, I've gone brain dead. The woman on Melrose Place, Laura Layton, thank you.
And those are gorgeous people. So you've already done this side of Rachel's face, and you're gonna get right into it and kind of give us a makeup demonstration of how to get camera ready. Let's go for it.
So I wanted to tell you what I did is I went ahead and put base on her face. She didn't need very much. She has great skin, but she has some discoloration under her eyes. And I also want to say that camera ready is not about, it's not a makeover. It's just about erasing the distractions, blemishes, discoloration under the eyes, dark spots, anything that's a distraction, especially on camera because of the lights, extra shine.
Absolutely. Well, let's get right into it. What do you want to start with first?
So what I want to tell you also is I did do mascara and shadow on this eye, but I didn't do liner. Liner can define and enhance the eye. You can even change the shape of it. So it's a very subtle change, optional, but something that you can do. You can see pretty clearly, I think, the difference in putting concealer on the eye or not. So I'll very quickly do that for her. Turn towards me a little bit. And you just want to match the skin tone at first. Skin tone. Okay. Yes. And then you can go back with something perhaps a little lighter under the eye. You can go one shade at the most, I would say, lighter than the skin.
Do you suggest using a brush for that? Because oftentimes I'll just use my finger, but is that a better method?
You know, at home, when I do my own, I use my fingers too.
Okay.
But I do actually use a brush when I'm doing my own makeup for camera. And mainly because the hairs help smooth and blend this a little bit more. Sometimes your fingers are too warm and they move the makeup around.
Okay.
So you want to just take out the redness, any discoloration there. Then the next thing is the cheek. And on her, I just used a little blush and some bronzer to sculpt to make the cheek more three-dimensional.
Okay.
And the key thing with blush is where you put it, or any kind of color, because where you put the color is where the viewer's eye goes.
Is that going to depend from person to person on how they are structured, basically?
Absolutely, absolutely.
So what about on Rachel?
On Rachel, what I did with Rachel was I had her smile, just smile a little bit. And you want to find the very round part of the cheek. But if her face were very narrow, for example, you would want to keep it more to the outer part of the face. But she's got a nice broad face and great cheekbones. But you never want to bring it too far over, and you never want to bring it up over that eye bone.
Okay.
So we're going to keep it more in the center. And I'm going to exaggerate it just a little bit so people can see it.
Is that good to exaggerate if you're going on camera?
Well, it depends. It's a case-by-case situation, but I want people to be able to clearly see what I'm doing. Then I'm going to come right under that with my bronzer and give it a more three-dimensional shape. Even though it is three-dimensional, it brings it out more.
She's looking beautiful.
So shadow, contour, highlight. I can't see the other side as well. So.
Well, Penny also does classes, group or private lessons for anyone who is interested.
Absolutely.
And you can find out more how to do the lips and everything else. Visit her website, pennysadler.com, to find out more. We want to say thank you to all of our guests for sharing this morning. And don't forget, if you missed any part of today's show, you can watch it online at the33tv.com. Just click on shows, then DFW Close-Up at the top of the page. Also, if you have any comments or segment ideas, we'd love to hear from you. Just email me at ashley.roberts@the33tv.com. You can also visit these websites at Out of Time. We'll see you next time. Thanks for joining us.